Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches. This is my Flosstube update number 111. Today is Saturday, April 4th. And as you can tell, I'm in a slightly different area. I usually record in my room just because it's quieter in there and I can shut the door and all that. But the downside is the cats are always harassing me. But so today I thought I would try something different. There's a little bit of glare from the window here next to me, but I thought this is in the living room. And behind me there's a picture of my dad back there when he was young in the Army. And my older sister sketched that from a photograph he had done when he was in there. But anyway, and there's a bunch of pictures of us and my niece and nephews and all that. Anyway, like I said, I thought I would try it in here and see if the lighting's not as bright as in my room, but we'll see how this worked out. It looks like it's adequate enough. So anyway, this week I did a little bit of stitching and I had a finish, and I have a little bit of an update for the Etsy shop. We'll just get that out of the way real quick because it's not a huge update, but it's a little bit of one. So there's a couple more items. Oops, let me get these right side up. They're both upside down. So they're these little pillow finishes, but these are seasonal. There's going to be a series of them. This one says heartstrings. It's got some the different heart-shaped balloons, I guess they are. And they're done in variegated. I think these were done in weeks dye works, but certainly you can use any color you want. So the pattern for this is in the Etsy shop, and it was just finished as a little pillow with lace around it, and there's some fabric has little Paris scenes in it or whatever, but yeah. Anyway, so this design is in the Etsy shop now, and as well as this one, which it says Patriot Dreams on the bottom. It's sort of a 4th of July thing, and it's got some red, white, and blue cording around it. Finished with that little pillow. But this design is also in the Etsy shop, if you'd like to stitch that. So there's Heartstrings and Patriot Dreams are available. And then also available in the Etsy shop, and there's only one right now of these, but it's a 13 by 14 project bag. So it's got sort of a tropical kind of print, a beachy. There's flamingos and pineapples and people in somewhere, I guess. There's a pine tree. You can kind of see it this way, but yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this, and it has this green polka dot fabric on the bottom, and it's got handles. There's a double handle here and a zipper pull, and there's a little flower, pink flower, and so a zipper on the top, and then green polka dot fabric on the inside. So it measures like 13 by 14. So you should be able to put an 11-inch Q-snap or a large hoop in there. So this is also in the Etsy shop. So anyway, so we have a few more items added in the Etsy shop. And speaking of which, I had shown earlier some fabrics we have a couple more seasonal designs, and I started to do the Easter, spring, whatever you want to call it, design on a green fabric, and it was kind of a darker green, and I decided that the design on it wasn't showing up well enough. It was too the fabric was too dark, so I dyed another piece of fabric. So this is sort of a it looks a little bit washed out in this light, but it's actually a green color. I have something. I have something to put behind it so it'll show up a little better. It's a very light, very springy green. So I'm going to be stitching on this instead of the darker green color. And while I was at it, I did just a tea and what do you call it? Blonde roast coffee. So this is a lighter fabric, but this is 28 count Monaco, and this is just a piece of white Aida that I had. I think it's 14 count Aida. Anyway, so on to stitchy news. I had a finish. I'm going to do my finish first. I finished one of the Be Well and Stitch freebies. Excuse me. Chicken Love by Priscilla and Chelsea, the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. I don't have it. Yeah, they're centered. This cat hair on it. I thought I had cleaned all the cat hair off of it. Sorry. But this is one of the Be Well and Stitch little freebie things. And they stitch it, I guess, using what I'm guessing are either Classic Colorworks or, I think so. They must be, I don't know. It doesn't really say. It has the color names, but not the, I know they're not Weeks. I don't think, but they're I think Classic Colorworks, I think. Anyway, I did a Weeks, mostly Weeks conversion, except for a couple of colors. This, it doesn't show up very well because the lighting is weird in here, but this blue around the chickens' necks, it's like a little, I don't know, handkerchief, I guess, around their necks. I used a blue etoile. I picked up a few etoile colors. I talked about this a little while ago, but I picked up a few etoile colors just randomly one day that I was at Joann's, and so I used the blue on their necks here. You can see that one a little better. And then for their feet and beaks, and for these little clothespin things, I had just a random like orangish color in my stash. It was from some kit, I don't even know when, long ago, and I just had it on a bobbin in my stash of thread, so I used that color. And then for the green here, I should have used a darker green. I almost used an etoile on this green, and this is sort of a, these are all Weeks colors, so otherwise, so this is I think it's called dried sage. So it's green, but it's a very light green. And then the red, I used Weeks Louisiana hot sauce. And then for you can't really see it, but it's the little centers of the flowers here. I used Weeks persimmon. And yeah, these little you can't see it, I don't think, but the center of the flowers. And then the chickens on their body is honeysuckle. So there they are. Well, the light shining through them. Yeah. So that was my finish. And that was the Be Well and Stitch freebie from the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Chelsea and Priscilla. And speaking of the Be Well and Stitch freebies, I have a pile of them that I've printed, and I still have a few more that, hold on one second. I had a few more that on my computer that I thought I had. Well, some of them I didn't print off because I wasn't sure I was going to stitch them right away, or some of them I just accidentally overlooked. But one that I did, one that I'm thinking about doing next, I like this honey bunny, it's called. I like it. It's kind of large, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it. But some of the others I want to do, I just didn't print everything off, all of them. But one that I want to do that I don't know if I got the whole. I mean, if I didn't see another, like a chart version of this. This is like a pixelated color block version of this chart. So I don't know if there's another black and white like symbol version of the chart. I mean, I can certainly work off of this because there's sort of a color key down here, sort of. It doesn't have numbers or, like colors assigned to it other than the colors of the picture. So I don't know if there's another version of this that has like a color key or has a symbol version of the chart or whatever, or if you just work off of this. But so I want to do this little hedgehog because he's cute. Very hedgehog. It's just, a little bit difficult. But anyway, so that's my, what I want to do with those Be Well and Stitch patterns. Then there's a lot, and they're really, really nice. So they're in my pile of, stitch before you die kind of things. Anyway, so, but what I worked on Saturday and Sunday, I worked on the Dragon Biscornu, and it's coming along nicely. I kind of have to move the hoop a little bit, but I finished the dragons except for this dark, if you see the dark green, and these two up here. So I have to do the dark green on the lower other two. And then some of the back stitching here, these little vine things, and the flags. I think I did, I did the pennants or flags or whatever on all four of the castles. So, and the eyes and nose of the dragon. So this one has a little back stitching to define, both of these. Define the elbows and all that sort of stuff. So I think they're both done, these two dragons, and so I just have to do the little vine things, and then I have to move the hoop so that I can do the rest. Finish these two, and then the stitching on this will be done, and then I have to do the back. And the back part is a little bit more involved. So I was kind of like, I was doing it on Sunday, and I kind of was like losing my stitchy bug a little bit, and sort of looking at it going, I don't have the mental energy to work on it some more. So I switched project. So on, I think Monday and Tuesday, I worked on this 2019 Santa. I hadn't worked on it in a long time, and it was just in my stash there. So I worked a little bit on it. I worked on this, on the big sheep down here, on the white of the big sheep. So I just did the front part, so his little head goes here. And then, and these swirls will eventually be like a tan color. And then this part in here, and so all that's left is his like rear end, and then fill in these little swirls with the tan, and then so, and actually I guess I took the other colors out of this project bag I had the Santa in, so I just had the red and the white in there. So I was just working on that as I could. And then on Wednesday and Thursdays, when I did the chicken love, I started on a Wednesday, late Wednesday, and finished it on Thursday. And then Friday, last night, I worked on more chocolate bunnies by Hands On Design. I don't think I mentioned the Santa is Prairie Schooler and the Dragon Biscornu is Tinymodernist. This is Hands On Design. Life Needs More Chocolate Bunnies. And so last night, before I had done more, and I had just started on the letters of chocolate. So last night I finished chocolate, and I got down to bunnies, and I had to frog this out because I had done one stitch correctly, and then these other stitches across the top, I had done, instead of over 2, I had done over 3 accidentally. And so, I had already done, because I'm an out and back stitcher, I had done everything except this top line. And as I went to do the top line next, it was like, something's wrong here. And that's when I realized I had done I had done just the top line, but I had done it over 3 or something, And so I had to undo everything in order to get back up here. But anyway, so now I'm on the next letter. And what I'm going to do is go across the top and then down and across the top and down and across the top and down. I know it's just, but that's the way I'm going to stitch it. That's the way I stitch. So anyway, I'm on bunnies now. So I have the top and the little bunnies on top, and then there's some carrots down here. But yeah, so it's coming along. More chocolate bunnies. So anyway, that is what I've done this week. And that's not very much. It seems like it's like what I talked about before when I used to go to my lessons and I'd work all week on learning stuff, and then I'd go to my lesson and it'd be done in, no time. And I'm like, and my teacher would go, "So what else you got?" Nothing. It took me all week to barely do, learn what I came in with. So it took me all week to do this, and I'm done talking about it in 15 minutes, So my future plans are that I think I'm going to choose another one of those little freebies to work on, and then to work more on the chocolate bunnies, and then to also work on the spring delivery. I looked at it and realized I hadn't done anything on it. But so I have just a lot of whips to work on, a lot of things to do. So hopefully I'll be working on those more, and a couple more things that'll go in the Etsy shop when they're finished. I just haven't finished them yet. Worked on them. So I think that's it. So I'm trying to think. I think that's it. So I will, this is really short, but I will see you next week. Hopefully I'll have some more done. And I'll talk to you next time. All right, thanks. Bye.